Put on your mask. Talking Dicks, Al Ducharme in Studio City, California, Al Romas in Tampa. Hi, Al.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. What's going on?
Nothing. You said stand by, and then I thought of standing by a parking meter when I caught a glimpse of Rita. You know that song "Lovely Rita" by the Beatles? It always annoyed me, the meter Rita line.
It was a stretch for the rhyme.
Yeah, a little bit, right?
Rita, meter, maid.
Yeah, standing by a parking meter when I caught a glimpse of Rita. We'll let it go.
It was early 60s. They were young. They
weren't that young.
They'd
already had 1 million hits. I mean, they could have, put a little more effort in that rhyme.
But when was that song written? I mean? Wasn't it something that they had written like a couple of years ago, and then they decided to release it?
No, sir.
Okay. You're the expert.
Good guess.
He's the Beatles expert. There's only one other guy that I think that could keep up with you. That would be Dan Gerstenlauer. He is also Dan is a college buddy of mine, another college buddy of mine, and good friends with
Paul Francis Riley.
Yes.
Oh, the comments last week. People hated too much Paul Francis Riley.
Oh, really? Oh.
Everybody was sick of Paul Francis Riley, but we don't care.
We beat it to death. That's why.
We're like a free cameo. If you comment enough to us, then we will dedicate a broadcast to you. Like Cameo, you got to pay, $100 to get some nobody to say happy birthday to you. Mm-hmm. The two dicks will do it for free on our weekly vlog because we're 4 months in and we just need anything to fill the fucking 15 minutes.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
Yes.
So Al,
yes.
I gave myself.
Yeah.
I was with my doctor. I was Zooming with my doctor, and I had to examine myself. I'll tell you right now. Woo! Not good. Not good.
You went. You did the old right up there with the window, and then right in there. And
I pat myself on the back, if you know what I mean. I gave myself a little toppy top.
Yeah, you go right in there. That's still a thing. That's still in 2020. We're still doing that.
Can you believe it?
2020. We're supposed to have flying cars. We're supposed to have flying cars, hoverboards.
We're doing this.
We're doing this. That's the medical.
Does my insurance cover this?
Moon River.
Yeah. What movie was that? Moon River? Fletch.
Fletch. Which I read this morning they're remaking. They're remaking Fletch with fucking John Hamm as Fletch. I don't care for that at all. I don't like it.
I'd like to see it. John Hamm is he has a sense of humor. He's got timing.
I know he's very, very funny, but I'm in the generation of that's Chevy Chase is Fletch.
Well, so am I. And the same thing when they made the remake of Arthur.
Terrible. Wouldn't watch it. Didn't watch.
But maybe Hamm will pull it off because maybe he won't settle. That script was just horrendous, and Russell Brand needed a vehicle. And the funniest part of the funniest part of the Arthur remake was the car chase in the middle of the night when they're driving around Manhattan with the Batmobile, and it was pretty funny. But other than that,
if you were a real fan, you would not have seen it, sir.
I held off seeing it as long as I could, but I was just curious. I was just curious.
Sexually curious? We know that. You've told me those stories. You know the one movie I walked out of in the theater? It's the one movie I walked out on in the theater. I said, nope.
Wait a minute. Your comedy special was released in the theaters?
I see what you did there. When people go, very good, sir. One film. I bought a ticket, sat down, was like, nope, out of here.
How many minutes in?
Not much. 10, 15, maybe 15, 20
Okay,
minutes.
Can you give me an actor? Will that give it away?
It was a sequel. And a comedy sequel, and yeah. So take a shot at that.
Well, was it the obvious Arthur 2?
It was Arthur 2. What?
I put on my two detective skills to figure that one out.
Well, it was going to either be Arthur or Fletch. The only movies we talked about.
After purchasing a popcorn and a soda pop, he left within 10 minutes of the film.
Once Gielgud appeared as a ghost.
That was it. Bye-bye. That was it. They were trying to rip off Star Wars with Yoda and Darth Vader.
And Dudley Moore aged about 15 years in that year. He looked like hell. I mean, I think he was probably sick, and he looked like hell.
His health was failing there. He had a couple of
diseases. So that was the only movie I've ever walked out of. Alfred, have you walked out on a film that we need to know about here on the Talking Dicks?
There's been a couple. I can't think of any titles that come to mind, but there was an issue with the projector, and it was the sound was off like 2 seconds, and we went and said, "Can you fix it?" And they were having trouble, and it was in Rhode Island, so everybody in Rhode Island actually stayed and watched it, except for me and my buddy. We left.
Everyone in the state was in that one theater watching Beyond the Green Door, and then it was all sex, but Alfred went, "The sound is off," and you went up and complained and left, and people were like, "We didn't know there was sound."
Yes.
Yeah. The sound.
If this is off, if that's off, I'm out.
This orgy cannot be enjoyed by me if the sound isn't correct.
That's correct.
Well, you're a technical guy. You're looking for, the technicalities of these things.
I am. Hey Al, where are you going to be performing?
I'm going to be this evening. I'll be at Snappers Comedy Club and Grill, or whatever the hell it's called, in Palm Harbor, Florida. I believe it's on US 19. Those are, I think. Snappers. One show tonight, one show Saturday, which I love. I love a one show. You know what I mean? That 2-show, 3-show greedy. I like one show, get in, get some laughs, we're done.
And the old saying, second show Friday. Steve Martin was quoted as saying.
Exactly. Why he quit comedy.
That's why he quit comedy. Second show Friday.
I quit comedy because of COVID-19, but he quit because of Late Show Friday.
Well, he started to do theaters and stadiums, so he was talking about comedy clubs.
I'm going backwards. I'm working a place tonight. It's a fucking 50-seater.
I would love to perform live somewhere. I'm a little paranoid, hence the mask and the gloves. That was a message.
You're paranoid. Yeah, well, you're paranoid to begin with, let alone without a pandemic.
Right, throw the pandemic in there. Watch it.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm always looking forward to it. I have a couple of new jokes, new bits I'll be trying out.
Do you want to try one of them out here?
No, not really.
Millions and billions?
No, yeah, billions. Yeah, see, and that's a beauty. And people who hear it, Deborah Swick brought it up in a comment the other day on our Facebook page, and somebody else I was hanging out with during the week said, "Oh, he's probably a billionaire with a B." So I think it's one of those that catch on kind of nicely. But
you have to get the T-shirt. You have to get the T-shirt. Billions
with a B.
Yeah.
Dicks with a D. And then our pictures, something like that. Hey, you know what time it is?
Questions.
Oh, one of my favorite parts of the podcast. Go ahead, Al. Who do we have?
This was on our Instagram page, 2Dicks2, and it comes from a comedian, an old friend, comedian, comedy club owner on Long Island, Richie Minervini.
That's an oxymoron, comedy club owner and comedian.
He was one of the very few.
Oh, Richie, that's okay. Richie, yes.
From who created East Side Comedy in Huntington, Long Island, where
legendary club.
God, I don't know. Everybody started. Not everybody, but a lot of big comic. Eddie Murphy and tons of guys started there. Richie owned it, and he was a comic, and he still is a comic. And anyway, he wrote on our page. I had put a picture of you and I with our 2 Dicks mobile. Mm-hmm. And Richie wanted to know what kind. Here's Richie's writing. Richie writes like he talks. What kind and year car is that? If you ever know Richie talks like 8,000 words a second, so everything gets kind of jumbled, and then you pick what you want out of there. What kind?
Wait a minute. We had two. We had two vehicles. The original one.
This is the one with the picture. Yeah, the original.
Okay, that would be a 1954 Nash, Metropolitan Nash.
That was it. Donated by Doug Sleeman.
Doug Sleeman.
Our friend Doug Sleeman was nice enough to loan us that vehicle whenever we needed
it. And he drove it 2 or 3 times, a half hour away from his home, and his wife would follow him in her brand new SUV, and he'd go down the highway in the little Nash, and he'd deliver it, and he said, "Just give me a credit at the end." It was like,
yeah. He would just leave the car and go, "Well, when you're done, just let me know." All right, thank you.
But we also have
thank you, Doug.
We also have a newer 1955 Chevrolet convertible, the new Two Dicks vehicle, that was supposed to be in an episode that we were going to shoot in March, but the pandemic stopped that. And that was donated by Dr. Joe.
Dr. Joseph Ravid from Punta Gorda. We have some pictures on our Facebook page of us in the car when we did Visani's. He drove the car to Visani's, and we got a ride home in it, convertible, and then you and I were in the car, and that was going to be our new Dixmobile.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still to be. Who knows? Still probably at some point. But to answer Richie's question, yes, it is the Nash Metropolitan in the picture with us. The little orange. It's orange in color.
It's kind of like a lawn mower on cocaine, right? After a couple of lines.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never done cocaine.
You haven't done cocaine? Come on.
Florida?
Come on.
Your drug references. I don't know from your drug tales, sir.
So anyways, it looks like because I've done my part, America. I've done my part. I hunkered down. I wore my mask. I didn't come in contact with anybody. I had my groceries delivered. I wiped them down, and I hunkered down. And 50% of Americans did not, and that's why we're still in this pickle that we're in. And
it's quite a pickle, no doubt about it. It's going the other way. It's going backwards. We're fucked.
Because of the stupid mask about you think it's taking away your rights and it's about controlling us. Come on, man.
Yes.
If we all did this, they said if we wear a mask for 4 to 8 weeks, if we wear our masks starting now, we can turn this around.
They won't do it.
Ugh.
They won't do it. There was a public supermarkets in Florida. They put out a thing, and it's been that way for a week, but a tweet saying you have to wear the mask to come in. You have to wear the mask. And then I look at the comments, and it's half the comments are, I'm not wearing a mask. I'm coming in. You kick me out. I'll just come back. But I'm not wearing a mask. Not doing it.
Why?
I don't know. Because it's their freedom. You're taking away these fucking rednecks.
Yeah, if you wear a mask, that's the first thing they do to you. Then they start making you wear a condom, and then they start making you wear Sunday clothes every day, like it's 1929.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Gotta wear those fancy good
Let's get this
clothes.
let's get this fucking thing over with. Put your mask on for 8 weeks. Done.
Won't happen. We've been doing this vlog now for 4 months. 4 months. And now we're no better than we were 4 months ago. The states they're closing up.
Well, the podcast
is,
or vlog as he calls it. This podcast is so much better. The pandemic was a blessing for us.
We would have had 4 good episodes done by now without the pandemic. Hey, by the way, how's that episode coming? Is it done?
My wife was supposed to give me a haircut today so that I could shoot it tomorrow, but she's busy.
So we're not getting an episode because you need a haircut? Is that where we are?
I might grease it back and go. Do you think I can pull it off like this?
Yeah, just throw the hat on. That's the cure-all. That's like women when they throw a baseball hat on.
I always have a hat on.
Hey now, they don't.
Oh, hat on.
What? Sir.
I went blue.
No need to go blue.
All right, we got to wrap things up because.
Wrap it up, baby. Bring it home,
Zoom
Alfred.
meeting. Bernie's got a Zoom meeting. We got things to do. Do we have anything to sell? Are we selling anything? Oh, our mugs. We have new mugs that have been ordered, and they're being made. So we'll have more of those. And it has our website on the bottom.
available for sale.
They're going to be available
the
for
Two Dicks
purchase,
Facebook
and
page?
I believe the price point. Did we come up with a price?
I don't remember. $15.
Yeah, because it's a mug. It's a coffee mug, but you'll be supporting us so that we can continue to make our podcast and future Two Dicks
It's a fair price.
episodes.
That's a fair. It's a good mug, good quality mug, and 15. What do you expect? Come on, that's a good price.
It's no Goya beans, but it's. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in, Al Romas, Al Ducharme. Sayonara.
I don't want to go.
Subscribe.
Mary.
Mm.
Arr.